Shabbat Shalom! Let's play a matching game. Match each shadow to its correct picture. How do you know which shadow goes with which picture? In the 6th aliyah of Pekudei, Moshe finishes setting up the mishkan and moving in its furniture: the ark, the veil, the table for the bread, the menorah, and the altar of incense. Half of the book of Exodus consists of God's instructions for the mishkan, the people making it according to his instructions, and finally, setting it up. Everything is done exactly as God has commanded. Why is it so important that everyone follow God's instructions exactly? What does God say about the mishkan? First, he says, "So I will sanctify the tent of meeting and the altar. I will also sanctify Aaron and his sons to minister to me as Kohanim. So I will dwell among Bnei Yisrael and be their God." Exodus 29:44. The mishkan is the place where God dwells with his people. Second, the mishkan is a shadow. Hebrews 8:5 says, "They offer service in a replica and foreshadower of the heavenlies, one that is just as Moses was instructed by God when he was about to complete the mishkan. For he says, 'See that you make everything according to the design that was shown to you on the mountain.'" So the mishkan is holy, set apart as the place where God dwells with his people, and the mishkan is a shadow. If the mishkan is a shadow, then it makes sense why it must be built exactly according to the instructions. If the substance casting the shadow doesn't have a flower pot decorating the edge, then it shouldn't be in the shadow either. The shadow should give a correct picture of the outline of the substance casting it. What is the substance casting the shadow? Hebrews 9:9 says the mishkan is a symbol for the present time, and verse 11, "But when Messiah appeared as Kohen Gadol of the good things that have now come, passing through the greater and more perfect tent, not made with hands," that is to say, not of this creation, "he entered into the Holy of Holies once and for all, not by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood, having obtained eternal redemption." And Hebrews 10:1 says, "The Torah has a shadow of the good things to come, not the form itself, but of the realities." The reality that casts the shadow is in heaven, in God's throne room. Revelation 11:19 gives us a glimpse. "Then the temple of God in heaven was opened, and the ark of his covenant appeared in his temple. And there were flashes of lightning and rumblings and clashes of thunder and an earthquake and heavy hail. This is the temple that casts the shadow of the earthly mishkan. This is the temple where Yeshua entered to offer his own blood to purify us of sin." Everything we do on earth is a shadow that shows this. This is why the mishkan had to be built exactly according to the instructions, so that we have a clear picture of Yeshua. So, the mishkan is a shadow of the heavenly temple, and it is also the place where God dwells with us, even in us, and we will be in him. Revelation 3:12 says, "The one who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God." And Peter talks about the shadow of that in 1 Peter 2, verses 4 and 5. "As you come to him, a living stone rejected by men but chosen by God and precious, you also, as living stones, are being built up as a spiritual house, a holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Messiah Yeshua." Our physical lives are a shadow of the spiritual. What we do reflects the outline of what we believe. If we believe in Yeshua as the Messiah, then our actions should match up with what he says. Then he will dwell in us and we will dwell in him. Shabbat Shalom.